I've reacted to a couple chicken wings videos so far, only to be kind of disappointed with the results of the chicken wing videos that I've reacted to, but I have hope in the form of Brian Lagerstrom. Now, if you haven't seen his channel, he's got a pretty large channel, million plus subscribers. He has some great recipes and he does some really amazing things in the kitchen. So I'm hoping that his chicken wing video will finally be one of those chicken wing videos on the internet that really makes chicken wings and doesn't try to do stupid things to them to make them something that they actually aren't. Whether it's a buffalo wing or whether it's a chicken wing with some other fancy kind of sauce on it. Let's jump in and watch Brian Lagerstrom's video called 3 Ways to Make the Best Chicken Wings of Your Life.
Hey, what's up? Today, I'm gonna show you guys the secrets to making bar quality wings at home using 3 totally different techniques.
Okay.
I'm also gonna be showing you 3 different wing sauces that can be mixed and matched for use in any wing style. Sure. First up is the classic buffalo hot wing.
All right.
For that, I'll need some.
So he is making a buffalo wing. Now, if you've watched any of my wing videos or my wing reaction videos, you know that buffalo wings are kind of a thing in our world, in my world, rather. Now, my father has pretty much perfected the buffalo wing, and we love our wings grilled. Like, when you compare fried chicken wings versus grilled chicken wings, especially with a homemade buffalo sauce that uses Frank's and butter as its base, I'm telling you, if you grill your chicken wings, they will be 10 times better, at least in my opinion, with the flavor that happens in my mouth when we make our chicken wings. So let's go see what he's going to do with his buffalo style sauce.
Chicken wings. For this recipe and the other 2 in this 3-parter, I'll be starting with 4 pounds of whole wings, or 12 pieces. The whole wing consists of 3 parts: the drumette, or the drummy, the flat in the middle, and then the wingtip.
Now, this guy does a great job at educating while he cooks. There's quite a few food YouTube people that do a really good job at educating while they cook in a simple way that informs the viewer, but also doesn't make them feel stupid for watching them. He's one of them. Okay. So now, if you don't know the wing and the drumette, all that kind of stuff, I mean, you probably know this already, but
down, I'll authoritatively slice right through the joints at both the drummy and the flat and the tip. I'll save the tip for future chicken stock.
So you can absolutely use your chef knife to do that. I loved a good pair of scissors. Like a good pair of kitchen shears is just incredible for just, and you can just rip through cutting through the bones of the chicken. I use them to cut through the spine, to cut through the backbone of the chicken when we're doing like a spatchcock chicken too. A good pair of kitchen shears goes a long way, and they're great for cutting chicken wings too.
Once I've got all 12 wings cut down into 24 pieces,
he's gonna do
I'll
a dry
salt
brine.
both sides liberally. Bar and grills would normally skip this step, but in my opinion, it makes a pretty noticeable difference without adding really any prep time. Now, to maximize wing crispiness, I'm gonna load these wings.
We're gonna see how it really does affect a buffalo sauce. I think one thing with a buffalo recipe is that there's so much sauce that you really don't even notice the crispiness of the skin as much. It definitely comes into play, but when they're coated in so much sauce, especially if they're sitting around for a little while, the crispiness of the skin really kind of goes out the window, and you're more talking about the flavor of the sauce in the wing. So
into a 250-degree oven to dry them off and to render the skin.
Which is another reason why I really love to grill them, because grilling the wings, especially with the sauce painted on them, does crisp up. It makes that sauce, it kind of grills that sauce into the skin so that you're kind of searing the skin with the sauce, so you do get a little more crisp that way, which is another reason why we like them grilled.
Not only make for a frothy, bubbly deep fryer that's kind of dangerous, but it also makes for wings that have soggy, flabby skin. That's bad. Drying these out is going to take about 15
Nobody
minutes.
likes soggy, flabby skin.
In the meantime, I'm going to make the buffalo sauce.
All right, let's
see it. For that, into a saucepan, I'll combine 1 stick of butter with 15 grams of minced garlic.
Nice.
Then I'll move that over to the stove and fry the garlic until it's fragrant.
That is one of the best things you can do for your buffalo sauce is fresh garlic. Now, in my last buffalo sauce recipe, I actually used garlic powder, not even thinking. Like, I was just trying to rip through like 4 different kinds of chicken tenders. But if you want to make your buffalo sauce better, add fresh garlic to it.
and starting to soften, about 5 minutes. While that fries, I'll quickly combine 250 grams of hot sauce. I choose Frank's, by the way, as
Good job.
should you. Then 40
He's not
grams of
letting me
worch
down.
and 8 grams of cornstarch.
Yep.
The cornstarch
Oh,
is going to help
interesting.
thicken the sauce, making it grip the wings better, but it's also going to act as an emulsifier to keep the sauce from splitting
Look at that frother
into
he's
an
using
oily
for his
mess.
coffee.
Back at the stove, once my garlic is smelling delicious, I'll add in my hot sauce mixture. Then I'll bring the whole thing up to a simmer. As it boils, you can see it's not exactly emulsified. That's to be
That's okay.
expected.
Yeah.
Just kill the heat and then whisk everything back together.
Yep.
The final texture here should be
That's really what you want to look for, is you want to bring that to a bubble to kind of separate it at first. And then just like he said, whisk it back together. That is really what you want to look for with your buffalo sauce. Now, he made kind of a basic sauce. The cornstarch was an interesting addition. I've never done that, so maybe I'll have to give that a try. But with our buffalo sauce, we like to spice it up a little bit with a little more, with a lot more herbs and spices. So I'll be interested to see how this one works out with the
medium
cornstarch.
thick. Like it should leave a nice trail when you push your spatula through it.
Definitely.
If yours is thicker than this, it's probably over cornstarched or over reduced. No sweat, just add a little bit more worch and hot sauce and thin it out. Now, I'll just set this sauce aside and then check back on my wings.
There's nothing better
15
than
to
that
25 minutes
combination of
at
Frank's and
250
butter,
F,
I'm
you can
telling
see
you.
they're nice and dry and the skin is really tightened up. This is going to allow us to get that skin fully rendered and crisped up in the hot oil. Speaking of
he's going
oil,
for
I'm going to
frying.
add about a
No big
half
deal.
gallon's worth into a heavy bottom pot and preheat it to 350 F. By the way, make sure the pot is never more than 60% full. Any more and the oil would bubble over the sides when you added the wings, and believe me, you would be mega bumming if that happened. And once
It's
my oil is
horrible
somewhere in
when that
between
happens.
350 and 360 F, I'll carefully load in a dozen or half of my oven dried wings, and then I'll set a timer for 10 minutes. And right about now, if you're wondering,
He's got a nice big Dutch oven that he's using right there for his pot. So adding 12 isn't going to be a problem for him. But if you've got a smaller pot, don't add too many at a time. Make sure you give them enough space.
hey, Bri, can I make buffalo wings in my oven? Of course. But
You
that
can.
process is a little bit more complicated. It's tricky to get right,
Yeah.
and I think it requires its own video. This video is about the best possible chicken wings, and in my opinion, the deep fryer is the best way to do that.
All right,
And after
fair enough.
10 minutes of fry time, the skin is totally rendered out, and the wings have taken on some really nice golden color. So I'll lift them out, drain off the excessive oil, and then move them right into a medium bowl. Texturally, you just can't beat this hot oil method for a classic wing.
Sure.
All of the fat in the skin has been cooked out, and now we're left with what is essentially a chicken skin chicharrone. Now to finish, I'll hit
That's a
these
good
with
way to
about
describe
half
it.
of my buttery buffalo sauce, and then I'll toss to combine. And those are some classic textbook buffalo wings. You guys,
bar, yeah.
the chicken is
Yep.
juicy, it comes right off the bone, and there's a perfect balance between tasty meat and buttery, spicy sauce. These wings are probably better than anything you've ever had in a bar, and they only take 25 minutes to make. The next wing is the Korean
I don't know
fried
about better than anything I've ever had at a bar. Where we live, there are some incredible chicken wing bars. Shout out to Park Tavern, shout out to St. Joe's Club. Like, there are plenty of other chicken wing places around us that do an incredible job with chicken wings. And I think I said this before, and I hope it doesn't make anybody angry, but I feel like the further you get away from buffalo, the worse the buffalo wings in a bar actually are.
chicken wing. It's breaded, supremely crunchy, and bathed in a spicy, sweet gochujang sauce.
All right.
To make that sauce, I'll combine 100 grams of
Korean fried
gochujang,
chicken.
20
Yeah.
grams of grated garlic, 20 grams of grated ginger, 30 grams of hot sauce, 40 grams
What
of
kind of
sugar,
hot sauce was that?
110 grams of honey, 60 grams of mirin, 60 grams of soy sauce, and 200 grams of water.
A lot of
Next, I'll
ingredients.
scoot this over to the stove,
It's gonna be
bring
great.
it up to a simmer, and then reduce for about 5 to 10 minutes or until the sauce is just starting to get sticky. And I know it's done when the bubbles start to get bigger and the sauce grips a spoon
Yep.
like this. This looks great,
It
so
does
I'll
look
set it
great.
aside and then I'll work on my chicken. Just like for the buff wings, I'll start by salting both sides of 24 wings. From there, I'll scoot the wings into a
And I
medium.
may have said this before, but I don't remember. But I have actually never fried dried my wings when I grill them. Okay, for frying, yes, but when I grill them, I don't even salt them. I let the seasoning and the fire do everything, do all of the work for me.
And then add in 1 cup of all-purpose flour. I'll just give that a quick toss to coat, and I'll say that the plain base of flour here provides the base layer starch right on the meat that's going to help the breading
Did he
stick to
do-
the chicken once.
Let me rewind that. I was yapping, and I don't think I saw him whether he did. Did he do cornstarch or potato starch in that flour mixture?
Into a medium bowl, and then add in 1 cup of all-purpose flour.
Just flour.
I'll just give that a quick toss to coat, and I'll say that the plain base of flour here provides the base layer starch right on the meat that's going to help the breading stick to the chicken once it's in the fryer.
Okay.
And once my 2 dozen wings are all dusted up like this, I'll set them aside and then make the breading. For that, I'll combine 350 grams of all-purpose flour, 350 grams of potato starch.
I figured that's where he was going to go based on the gochujang sauce.
Grocery stores or off of Amazon, or cornstarch would be a totally fine substitute. Next, in goes 15 grams of salt, 10 grams of baking powder, 8 grams of garlic powder, and 8 grams of onion powder. To finish the dry mix, I'll just give it a quick whisk to mix everything together, and there we go. Next, I'll grab a second bowl and shake about 1/3 of the dry mix into that. From there, I'll grab my whisk yet again and then use it to mix in some water. I'm using about 250 grams or somewhere in between.
So he's basically making Korean fried
2.
chicken wings.
Basically, I'm whisking in however much water it takes to create a light slurry that kind of looks like a melted milkshake. Next, I'll drizzle in about 1/3 of that batter into the rest of my dry mix. Then I'll jump in and fluff it all together. This is going to create a matrix of partially hydrated craggy bits. Those are what's going to make this chicken extra crisp. Now to bread these wings, I'll drop 4 or 5 at a time into my melted milkshake and toss to coat. Next, I'll lift one out and drip off anything excessive. Then I'll drop it into the crags. Try not to get too much of this batter into the dry mix, by the way, because over the course of 24 wings, that's going to get pretty clumpy, and that will lead to over breaded wings. And once I've got all 24 of these little BBs covered in crags, I'll move over to my stove and drop 12 at a time into 350F oil. And once they're all in, I'll come back right away with my spider and push things around to make sure they don't stick to each other. Now, I'll just fry these for 11 to 12 minutes and then quickly thank Element for sponsoring this video. I don't know if you guys noticed, but hydration is very important. But staying hydrated is a lot more than just drinking water. You need the proper electrolyte ratio.
Okay, let's skip through the ad.
The link is in my description. Back to the chicken. And after 12 minutes in the fryer, these little birds are looking golden brown and nicely crisped, so it's time to pull them out. One of the things that I love about using potato starch here is that it browns really slowly, allowing us to fry these for longer, dehydrating the crust even more. These wings are outrageously crispy.
I whiffed on that bite.
His voice sounded so much differently there.
Now to finish, I'll just slather with my gochujang sauce, toss, and then, oh my gosh.
Yeah, those look great.
That is coming really freaking close to the upper limit of how tasty you can make a bite of chicken.
It's hot.
You got a whisper of ginger. It's a little bit spicy. It's a little bit sweet and tastes like Korea and Kentucky at the same time. Okay, the last wing is a smoked, grilled barbecue wing. To start, I'll add 24 wings into a bowl, then dry rub them with 20 grams of salt, 3 grams of black pepper, 3 grams of onion powder, 3 grams of garlic powder, and 5 grams of chili powder. I'll just give that a quick toss to combine, then I'll throw it into the fridge to cure it for 15 minutes while I head outside and turn my 3-burner gas grill into a poor man's barbecue pit. For that, I'll just take off one of the grates here, then drop down my wood chip smoker box. This little thing is super handy and pretty cheap.
You can get little smoke tubes too.
It turns your grill into a smoker. And if you don't,
I talked about these in an upcoming video where I actually added 3 different kinds of pellets to a smoked tri-tip. And so the pellet smoker that I use is the Halo Prime 1500. So it's got two different sections of pellets, so you can do 2 different there. And then I used a smoke tube to add a 3rd. And a smoke tubes, they're kind of interesting. You can add the pellets to that, just light it on fire, blow it out, and then it just smokes. It's great. But these are great too, and you can probably fit a lot more smoke in there, especially using with real wood too.
One, I'll link to this one down in the description. Next, I'll throw some soaked applewood chips into that metal box. Then I'll turn the burner underneath.
I don't understand. Sometimes I see people doing this with soaking the wood chips, and I know it makes them burn slower, but I don't know that it really adds the proper flavor of smoke that you should. So those are really fine wood chips. Usually the wood chips that I buy are a little chunkier, so I'm not sure what kind he's got there. And maybe that makes more sense. Soaking them makes more sense with that kind of wood chip, but the wood chips that I usually get are a little thicker, a little flakier, not as ground up so much as those. So, but I have seen people soaking even wood giant chunks to smoke in there. And honestly, you don't need to do that. Wet wood smoke just doesn't smell good to me, so I can't imagine that it tastes good. But that's just my opinion.
Too high. By the way, my other 2 burners are turned off. This makes a 2-zone cooking situation, so I won't overcook my chicken as it smokes.
I have that same grill, by
Once my chips
the
are
way.
smoking, I'll just drop my
We don't
rub
use it
chicken
anymore, but I
onto
have
the
it.
unheated side of the grill, spread them out, and then smoke them until the chips are burned through for about 20 to 25 minutes. The temp of the grill during that smoke should be about 250 to 300 F. While
I'm
those
surprised that
smoke,
only
I'm going
takes
to head
25 to
inside
30
and whip up
minutes.
some of Uncle B-Man's signature onion barbecue sauce. For that, into a
B-Man.
saucepan, I'll combine 250 grams of ketchup
Okay.
with 25 grams of hot sauce, 100 grams of molasses or
Ooh.
brown sugar, 30 grams of worch, 25 grams of cider vinegar, 25 grams of yellow mustard, 20 grams of minced garlic, 100 grams of grated red onion,
Oh.
2 grams of chili flakes, and 5 grams of chili powder. Next, I'll just bring that to a simmer.
Now, in another upcoming video where I make the barbecue care package for some friends, I made my own barbecue sauce and I made my own Carolina style sauce. And I did a similar barbecue sauce here, but I used brown sugar instead of molasses. And instead of onion, I used poblano peppers. So I'm interested to see what this comes out, how this comes out right here.
On the stovetop and cook for
I like
about
making my own
15
barbecue
minutes
sauce.
over low heat, stirring constantly. I want to fully soften the onions and garlic and reduce the sauce by about half. And once the sauce has reached optimal
In a really old video, I made my own barbecue sauce with a Carolina Reaper hot sauce and a maple bourbon stout from Founders Brewing. And that barbecue sauce was incredible.
it's time to pull it off the heat. Flavor-wise, this sauce is somewhere
Chunky.
between Sweet Baby Ray's and Open Pit onion flavor. Back out at the smoker, these wings are looking very good. The skin has tightened up.
Now, I know I'm going to make some people mad here, but I don't like Sweet Baby Ray's sauce. I used to, until I found some other sauces. Blues Hogs hot barbecue sauces are out of this world. And once you try one of those versus Sweet Baby Ray's, you'll never buy that little bottle again.
And dried off, and it's taken on a lot of smoke flavor. Now, you could pull these off right now, but I like to go just a little bit further on the smoke. So I'll refill my smoker box, flip the wings over, and then smoke for another 20 to 25. And after 45 minutes of smoke time,
Okay,
this
that makes
chicken
more
has
sense.
taken on a beautiful honey color, and it's just about cooked through. Next, I'll move these wings off the smoker and into a bowl. Then I'll turn up the heat on all of my burners, turning this thing from a smoker back into a grill.
There we go.
Once
I
it's
like it.
ripping hot, I'll throw the wings back on and get them char grilled on the outside. This is going to render out just a little bit more of that chicken fat and sizzle up the skin.
Yes.
It's going to be insanely flavorful.
Yes.
So I'll just close the lid and let these boogie for 5 to 6 minutes. And after about 5 minutes,
Ooh, baby.
these wings are looking so
Grilled wings.
good, you guys.
They're my favorite.
And they smell primal. Now to finish these things, I'm gonna snatch them off the grill, bring them inside, and then sauce them liberally with
I was hoping
Uncle
he was gonna
B's
sauce them
onion
on the grill.
BBQ. A quick toss to sauce, and there we go. Sticky, smoked, grilled wings. In my opinion, these are good.
Now, a barbecue sauce like this, because of the sugar and the ketchup and the molasses, would burn up quite a lot cooking on the grill. So I see that's why he's not doing that. But maybe just a little touch of fire just to add that char to the sauce, because that's a whole, adding a little char to your sauce on your wings is a whole extra layer of flavor, right?
One of the best foods that you eat this summer. Throw in some potato salad, a little bit of grilled corn, and just prepare to be stoked.
Oh my God. That is quite smoky for only being on the grill for 45 minutes. It's just enough to kind of grip the outside of this smoky wing, but it's not syrupy. It doesn't like wear you out. It's perfect.
So that's 3
Nicely
effective
done.
techniques for making delicious tasting chicken wings at home, along with 3 sauces to coat them.
Yes, sir.
I really hope you guys try at least one of these recipes soon. And if you do, please let me know how it went down in the comments.
I'm going to try that Korean chicken wings. All right. He's dancing away. It's just, oh, I'm not subscribed to him. I should just subscribe. There you go. All right. Great video, Brian. Now, he did not let me down. He's the first one. So that's wonderful. The chicken wings he made looked great. They sounded great. He didn't do anything stupid and unnecessary to them. He just made great chicken wings. And that's really what it's about. You just make yourself some great chicken wings. You don't have to go way above and beyond with chicken. They're great by themselves. Like, I even love just a plain unsauced, unsalted wing just on the grill. It's just tasty. It's just a tasty chicken wing. I hope you enjoyed his video, 3 ways to make the best chicken wings of your life. Of course, I have my opinions, but I'm sure so do you. So as always, I appreciate you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.